I'm Casey Garrow, joined with Greg Pickel for Fight on State. We just witnessed a big victory for Penn State, 43-40 over Michigan, and they went into 4 overtimes. Now, it was a huge recruiting night for Penn State. What do you think this means to the recruits that got to witness this game?
Yeah, you know, they had 125 recruits in town tonight. I'd say after being on the field, Casey was down there as well. It was pretty close to 125. The key for me is the fact that it was not a bunch of walk-on guys. You know, when you look at numbers of people that go to these games, you sometimes wonder how many of them are committable scholarship guys and how many are walk-ons. There weren't a lot of walk-on type guys here. There were some because we know that program's important here at Penn State, but there weren't a lot. As for the game itself, yeah, I mean, you cannot get a better recruiting weekend like the one Penn State had this weekend. You get 125 guys in town. You forget about the camaraderie these guys get and the friendships they make in the recruiting section. And think about it this way. Next game goes 4 overtimes. That's 4.5, 5 hours those guys spent together. You don't think phone numbers were exchanged? You don't think friendships were made? They most certainly were tonight. So yeah, the win is huge. What allowed these kids to stay here longer is huge. At the end of the day, you can't leave Penn State as a recruit and not have some sort of positive thought after watching this tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I was on the field at the end of the game, and I saw a lot of recruits taking pictures with the bell, ringing that. So I definitely think numbers were exchanged. Now, moving kind of to the 2015 class, what did you see from that? Were there some big recruits here as well?
Yeah. The 2015 class was a big weekend for this weekend. The reason is simple. Penn State, we estimate maybe 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 guys left. Whatever that number is, and we're not going to give you a cold, hard number because we don't know. There's not that many guys left they can bring into this 2014 class, number one. And number two is that they can't, a lot of those guys that maybe they would have had here couldn't. We'll get to who was here in a bit. But 2015-wise, yeah, big weekend. Minka Fitzpatrick, I will start with, did not make it. He had practice this morning. Kareem Ali from Timber Creek also did not make it. But the names of guys were here. You get down the list, it's huge. Sterling Jenkins, Baldwin High from Pittsburgh was here. C.J. Conrad, tight end from Ohio, was here. Chris Green, linebacker from Ohio, here. I believe Justin Hilliard was here. We did not see him on the sideline. It doesn't mean he wasn't here. I'm pretty sure he made the trip. We haven't heard otherwise. Then there were some other guys here. David Njoko, a 2014 commit to Rutgers, was here. We'll get to hear that in a bit. But overall, 2015, 2016, very strong showing from those guys today. Austin Clark was here from Virginia. Chad Smith was here from Virginia as well. That's a name to keep an eye on in that class of 2015. This kid had a great camp performance. He passed the looks test today. I was really impressed by what I saw from him, just chatting with him for a few minutes today. And overall, we're going to get really deep into the 2015 guys as this night unfolds and into Sunday and Monday. But big night for those guys.
Yeah, you mentioned Sterling Jenkins, one of those guys from Pittsburgh. I've actually spoken with him. He's a big Pitt guy as well, Pitt's after him, but he was extremely excited about coming to Penn State, and I think with this atmosphere and this win, that might have made a huge impact for him.
Yeah, you have to watch what these guys say carefully. I'm glad we have the opportunity to get into that. It's a good point you bring up. A lot of kids are going to say, this was the greatest game I've ever seen. This was the most fun I've ever had. This is, it was a great visit, a wonderful time. Again, we always talk about it's more about what you say than what you do. And what Penn State did tonight was give themselves a foothold in these kids' recruitment and give them the opportunity to have a reason to come back here to Happy Valley and Beaver Stadium this year. What I'm most interested in, a lot of big name guys. They have a couple big home games left. Nebraska probably the biggest one. Be interested to see if they get some of those guys back here for that game based off of what they saw this evening.
Yeah, if we see those recruits come back, then it's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
Kind of moving towards the 2016 class, any big names or anything you want to mention that you saw tonight?
Yeah, 2016, the one name to really note is Cam Chambers, Timber Creek guy with teammates with Kareem Ali, also did not make it. So, the 2016 group was okay. I really have to go back and look and see who was here from that group. Michael Schuster, quarterback from Camp Hill, was here. But I'm really going to have to go back and look and see which one of those guys made it, and maybe some newer names that made it. But yeah, 2015, 2016, as you get deeper down the road here, you also get deeper towards getting scholarships back, getting closer to a bowl game ending. So those guys seeing this game tonight, certainly huge. There's no greater selling point in winning, and Penn State beat an 18th ranked Michigan team tonight that not many thought had a chance to win against.
Yeah, Penn State certainly made an impression, and Bill O'Brien even said in the press conference afterwards that, they are true to who they are, the coaching staff, and I think they really proved that tonight, and I think the recruits were impressed, and I guess we'll see later on in the season. I'm Casey Garrow, joined with Greg Pickel for Fight on State.
I'm not really allowed to talk too much specifically about recruiting, but I do think that, I'll tell you, what I say, this is, what you see is what you get with this staff. We're a bunch of, hard-nosed coaches that believe in a philosophy of football, of tough, smart football. You come to Penn State, you got a chance to play in front of 108,000 fans. You're going to be on TV every week, and you're going to get a fantastic education. There's over 150 different majors to choose from here. You graduate here playing football with a degree from Penn State. It's really an unbeatable combination. So hopefully things worked out tonight in that realm too.